Hey folks, here I am again on another hotel on another day. I'm not on the run, I promise, yet. I'm not on the run, but I am on the run to do the work of the Lincoln Project around the country and been doing meetings all over the country. Did a speech in San Diego, meetings in LA, meetings in DC today. I like my own bed. I do. I like my own bed and I miss it. And I want to assure you, if I'm on the run, you'll know. Hey everybody, it's Rick. Welcome back to the Enemies List, as we tend to do from time to time. Today is a Q&A episode. So, question one. If Trump's FBI is arresting judges, how is that not a violation of the separation of powers? Aren't judges supposed to be impeached? Okay, so they arrested a state judge claiming that she had allowed or facilitated an illegal immigrant to escape with his attorney from the clutches of the ICE deportation squad. I don't know all the details of the story yet, but Kash Patel, we're recording this on Friday, Kash Patel posted it on Twitter, then deleted the tweet. I don't think we know the whole story yet, but here's the thing. There's a reason Donald Trump went after big law firms first. He wants to intimidate them. They want to intimidate judges. They want judges to feel like they're always under the eye of Department of Justice. They want judges to feel like they work for Trump and the DOJ, not their courts. Now, look, I don't know the details of this case yet. I don't know if they had a warrant for her arrest. They clearly brought her before a magistrate, and so the case is now in progress. But I will say this. The idea of ICE and DOJ stormtroopering into schools, which they're doing, to military bases to arrest the spouses of military service members who they believe are illegal, which is kind of difficult to understand how that works. If you're married to an American, you become an American. And a variety of other places. They're storming into hospitals. They're storming into churches. They're storming into community centers. And they are taking people off the streets. You know, so if this judge did something wrong and she broke the law, okay, she needs to be tried. But let me tell you something. Every single day, the Trump administration violates the orders that courts issue. Every single day, they go out and kidnap people off the street. Every single day, they take people who are in this country on legal status, who have not committed a crime, and deport them to a foreign gulag prison camp. So I don't think you're at the end of the abuse of judicial power and executive power in this. You're at the beginning. This is a way they're trying to intimidate people. But I will tell you, when this is all over, when this is all said and done, Tom Homan and Kristi Noem and Kash Patel and Danny Bing Bong Dildo are going to fucking prison because they are using federal executive power to arrest people illegally. They are defying court orders every single day. They are behaving in a way that is going to put them in jail. And I, for one, am here for it. Okay, question two. Do you think Elon is going to leave to save Tesla? Well, your question is interesting, but I think your predicate is slightly wrong. I don't believe Tesla can be saved. I think Elon has, as we say down south, fucked the dog. This is not a company that can be easily recovered at this point. Why? Sales are down 71%. This company is collapsing. It's collapsing for a number of reasons. One is that Americans hate Elon Musk, and he is the brand. He is the face. He is the guy. He is the company's sole mastermind in the mind of the public. I don't know, call me crazy, but doing Nazi salutes and burning down Social Security and burning down veterans' health benefits and burning down the National Park Service, those are so woke in the National Park Service, and ripping through the government like a moron with a flamethrower. I would rather put a drunken baboon in charge of this stuff than Elon Musk. He wants to leave on some levels because now you're seeing something about Elon that is an indicative pattern that's happened over time in his other companies. He has this ferocious amount of energy. He has this ferocious amount of concentration. He has ideas. He starts implementing them. Then it gets boring and he goes and does something else. I think he sees Doge still as his stay behind force. So in Germany in World War II, there was this plan that the Nazis had. They knew the Americans were coming. They knew the Russians were coming from the east. The Americans were coming from the west. They were on the continent. And they were going to do this thing called Operation Werewolf. And Operation Werewolf was to have sleeper cells of terrorists blowing things up and, disrupting. Didn't work out. Elon, I think, views Doge as Operation Werewolf. They're going to stay behind. All the goons, the weirdos, the incels, the hacker freak kids, these guys are all staying behind. They're all going to stay in government, keep fucking with it. And the reason they're staying behind and I'm 100% confident of this. They are feeding your personal government information to Elon Musk and his AI system. They're feeding all of your personal government information. They're integrating all of it for the first time. And they're feeding it to Peter Thiel, and they're feeding it to DHS. They're feeding it to everybody else to use your information against you. Once again, these are a group of people who are going to fucking prison if there is a just world. Susie Wiles wants him out. The White House wants him out. Trump still likes him. But I think even 1 or 2 days a week, Elon Musk can cause tremendous damage to this country. I think Tesla cannot be saved. He's going to realize that pretty quickly. Listen, the product line is shit at this point. They haven't done a refresh for years. The robo-taxi thing is he's been promising robo-taxis, full self-driving robo-taxis. He's been promising that since like 2012. Do you see them yet? You see them? Self-driving Tesla robo-taxis? You see Waymo, but not Tesla. So I think the company's fucked. And I think he's kind of fucked along with it because, as I wrote a few weeks ago to his great distress, an article called Kill Tesla, Save the Country. And yes, it was a fucking metaphor, Elon. Chuckle fuck. I think the company has been now turned into a poisonous brand. I mean, imagine, if you will, if a liberal company, a liberal corporate leader became somebody who like really, really shoved it in the face of red state voters every day. Like really, like just fucking shoved it in their face. That he was going to destroy everything they loved or cared about or thought was a value that they embraced, and at the same time was wrecking their businesses and their economy. People would be mad. That's what Elon has done to the whole country. He is a poisonous brand. It's going to be really hard for him. I said in the beginning, Elon should go back and make electric cars and rockets. Because you know what? If he had done that, if he had just done that, he could have been the richest man in the world. He could have had all his toys. He could have gone to Mars and all that stuff. God bless. But now he's going to wake up every day and know that America fucking hates him. And he's not got anything in the card deck right now to reverse that hatred. So I think he and Tesla are both sort of skunked. Apple says they're going to move to India because of the trade war. Did Trump say the tariffs are going to bring manufacturing back to the U.S.? Oh, you sweet summer child, as I like to say. Look, should we be manufacturing things in the U.S.? There's a whole cluster of industries in which I will absolutely say yes. We should be doing our own silicon fabs in this country. We should be having our own chip factories. We should be building a lot of things here. But if you think Americans are going to take jobs in this country to injection mold toilet brushes for $7 an hour, you are out of your mind. The other part of this is companies aren't going to come back to the U.S. and re-industrialize the country. If Donald Trump could change his mind tomorrow, why would you wake up in the morning and say, hey, I'm going to spend $5 billion on a factory in Ohio to build iPhones? Because the next day Trump says, oh, no, it's all forgiven. China, we're good. No problem. Where the cost advantages and the supply chain advantages that China has built into this system will always outweigh the cost here. You know, one of the other things that I think is important to understand, yes, we have a manufacturing trade deficit. We have a massive services trade surplus. And whether you like it or not, whether you think it's a good thing or a bad thing, Americans a long time ago voted with their feet. And they said, we'd rather make $30 an hour or $20 an hour working in an office doing things that are more mentally geared than physically geared than make $10 an hour stamping out widgets. Automation has changed the world. The factories you think are going to be built here to build cars and airplanes and big, beautiful machines, as Trump said, they're not going to have human workers. They're going to have robot workers, and they're going to be automated. So the idea that Apple's going to move their fab production for phones to India, it is what it is. It's going to end up being the same contractors from China. They'll just build the factories in India. And you know, net, all it is a hassle that Trump has cost everybody more money, and that's why your iPhone is going to cost $2,000 or $5,000. Okay. If I get deported, what country will I request? That is a fine question. If I get deported, what country will I request? Oh, I'll probably get El Salvador because these fuckers are what they are. And if I get El Salvador, it won't be pretty. Look, if I had to be deported, if I had to flee, a lot of easy answers on that one. They involve places in Europe that have good climates, cold part of the year, warm part of the year. You get the picture. Alp regions, whether it's France or Italy or Austria or Germany. Renee may disagree on that. She may want somewhere sunnier and more clement. But look, the idea that they're going to start denaturalizing Americans, or the idea that they're going to take American citizenship away from actual freeborn American citizens, is not off the table. They're still looking for legal ways to do this. They're still looking for ways to drill down and hurt you. Okay, next question. We have had a lot of bad economic news in the last few weeks. Is this hurting Trump? And what's next? Well, yeah, I did a video yesterday, or today, excuse me, when I'm recording this on Friday, the 25th. My God, the time flies. Called The Numbers Don't Lie. And the numbers don't lie. Donald Trump has been an economic disaster for this country, and it's going to get worse. It's going to get a lot worse. I have a very smart friend, my friend Adam, brilliant guy on the economy. And he explained to me yesterday the chain of events that's happening inside the supply chain. So right before Liberation Day, all these companies like Walmart and Target, they bought a lot of inventory because they thought that, this thing would be over by now, but they wanted to have some inventory on hand. Well, they've burned through most of that inventory now. We got about 15 days of inventory left in the stores before things start getting scarce. Now, what happens when products become scarce? They rise in price. This is an inelastic question at this point, economically speaking. I drove past the port of Long Beach, yesterday when I was in California. It's a dead zone. There are usually 40, 50 ships waiting to offload and unload. Right now, there are about 10. There's usually a constant flow coming across the Pacific. And that flow from America has things like cattle, meat, timber, soybeans, corn, lumber. On the way back, finished goods. Right now, nothing's going out and nothing's coming back in. So very soon now, this economic crisis that Trump has engineered for this country is going to fuck all of us. So what has it done so far? Well, it's blasted Trump's economic approval ratings into the gutter. Honest, bad economic approval ratings across the board. Go watch that elephant in the room video called The Numbers Don't Lie. America Hates Trump is the title. America hates Trump because he's fucking them economically. America hates Trump because he's done this to them for no reason. There is not a cause for this, guys. There's not a reason for doing this. Now, I want to answer a corollary question to this because a couple people have talked to me about it. They're like, well, doesn't China have a lot to lose too? Yes, they have a lot to lose too. But right now, Xi has outplayed Trump at every single turn in these negotiations. Trump is like desperately like, oh, he's trying to call me. He's going to call me. He loves me. I want to go to the prom with you, Xi. Anybody who believes Trump when he says that Xi's trying to call him is again, I will sell you some land on an island with dinosaurs in the Pacific Ocean if you believe that is the case. That is not the case. Xi has absolutely overmatched Trump. He has broken Trump's brain. Peter Navarro and Howard Lutnick and the rest of this crew of morons inside the White House have put America in a position where American consumers are about to get fucked. American job loss is about to be catastrophic. And all of it's because Trump is dumb. The only thing he has in his head is tariffs. It's a dumb idea. It was dumb when we blew up the American economy before the Great Depression with the Smoot-Hawley tariffs. It was dumb in the 1890s when tariffs held back American industrial development for a couple decades. It was dumb. Every time we tried it, it's been dumb. And I've said this before. If you were to go out and trawl through every college in America for economics professors, you'd have to find somebody at the Tommy Tuberville Institute of Agriculture, Science, and Incest Studies in Alabama to find a professor of economics or an expert in economics in any capacity who believes that tariffs and trade wars are good things for the economy. Trump managed to find the two fucking losers in this country who believe this crackheaded bullshit. So, it is what it is. Next question is, how are you doing? I'm doing okay. Look, this is a long haul, guys. It's always a long haul. And, this is a fight we've been in for a long time now. I've been in it at Lincoln since 2019 in December. Been in it more broadly since 2015. Look, he is cracking, guys. He's not doing well. And the worse he does, the more energy we get in the pro-democracy movement. The worse he does, the more energy for people who know that this thing that they're doing is evil and wrong and stupid. The more they fuck up, the better for this country. It hurts. It's bad. It's a lot of pain in the short term. But I truly believe we're on a pathway right now where Trump can't get out of this hole. He can't change his direction. He can't change his trajectory. He can't change his pattern of behavior. And that pattern of behavior is really, 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 really has a lot of negative reinforcement right now for him. He knows it's bad, and yet he can't back down. That's one of his brand things. Never back down, never give up, never go back. Well, he has to, and he will. He may end up doing it with the American economy in flames and in a complete train wreck, but he has to. And it's going to be a long time before anybody trusts a Republican when it comes to trade policy ever again. Okay, next question. Will Donald Trump pardon George Santos? God, I hope not. But given that George Santos has been a consistent leg humper for Trump, I presume he's at least got a chance at it. He got 7 years in prison on Friday. Look, Qatar revanche is going to have a tough time in prison. George Santos is going to have a tougher time in prison. But, at least he and Tom Homan can share a cell someday soon. Okay, one more question today. What about Pete Hegseth's second signal line scandal in the Pentagon? Guys, he had a hard line installed into his office in 3E880, which is the Pentagon Office of the Secretary of Defense. By the way, in the Pentagon, your room numbers are like this. There's 5 stories, 10 rings, 5 stories, 5 rings, 10 segments, right? He's on the Secretary's office is on the 3rd floor on the E ring, which is the outside ring, 880 in Sector 8. Fun fact about the Pentagon, you can walk anywhere in the building, even though it's huge. You can get anywhere in the building in about 10 minutes if you do the right diagonals and angles. Fun fact. Okay, look, Pete is struggle personified right now. He wants his makeup room in the Pentagon. He wants to look good on TV. He's now trying to de-gay the military. Oh, yeah. The whole warfighter thing would be more convincing, Pete, if you weren't putting a system inside your office where foreign governments can spy on us, where you talk about missile strikes on the Houthis with your wife, who does not have a security clearance, and your brother, who has a low-level security clearance, and your personal lawyer, and God knows who else is on the signal chats. Hegseth is a dead man walking. Trump does not want to fire him again. He doesn't want to be seen to fall apart on media pressure. Hegseth is right now under the gun, and Susie Wiles and J.D. Vance both know he should be replaced, and they're both trying to find a way to get him out. They're the ones leaking these stories about Pete Hegseth at this point, just so you know. The calls are coming from inside the house. Okay, folks, this is a fun segment, folks. We love doing this. I love answering your questions. Do it. Send us more. You can shoot us an email or send us a carrier pigeon or do whatever other communications method that you find that sparks most joy. Talk to you soon.